All right, time now for another installment of our special series, Italian in Connecticut. Today we are up in Hartford live. Italian culture still thriving despite a big loss to that community about 50 years ago. News 8's Kim Pierce live this noon from Front Street to tell us about how all those Italian clubs are keeping some very important traditions alive. Ken.
That's right, Keith. And Front Street, that's what the sign says is right here, but the Front Street that's here now looks nothing like the Front Street Italian immigrants would have remembered from years ago. Right now, it's full of bars and restaurants and theaters, too. But 60 years ago, Front Street was the Little Italy for Hartford. Then came the bulldozers in the 60s. Then Franklin Avenue became the Little Italy neighborhood, and that's when Italian-American social clubs picked up the slack and had to keep the community together.
The Italian-American Stars on Franklin Avenue is just one of the Italian social clubs you'll find around Hartford, one of many.
Sure, we have about 80 clubs in the greater Hartford area.
In any one of them, you'll hear the stories of how tough immigrants had it when they first came to America. Frank Paniato went to school all day and had a full-time job.
I had to do it because I was by myself here, me and my brother. My parents were still in Italy. So we had a rent to pay, gas, utilities. And
you were how old?
I was 17 when I came.
Many came from the Sicilian town of Floridia. As this monument shows, it's Hartford's sister city. Salvatore says the town was beautiful.
But my father was a shoemaker, and at that time, the business wasn't going too well. So the family decided to come to America.
And he lived the American dream.
I started from being a pizza maker or working in a factory. Now I work for a financial company, banking and stuff.
Billy Ciotto spent years making laws and stuff as a state senator, but his mother started out making clothes.
My mother worked in a dress shop, which in those days was a sweatshop. 12, 14 hours a day, 20 minutes for lunch. God forbid if you had to go to the bathroom.
Hartford was literally built by those kind of hard-working Italian immigrants.
You give them some brick and stone and cement, and they'll build you a palace.
Most every brick that's standing in the building in Hartford was laid by an Italian American from the late 1800s to the present. We built it.
They also built many of those 80 social clubs. The Italian-American Stars is all about soccer.
In this place, usually on Sunday, you can see so many people, they want to watch the soccer. Many important thing is the soccer.
The clubs were so valuable to new immigrants, but their children and grandchildren have less and less interest in coming to a club for espresso and a newspaper.
When somebody dies, is one less. Because from Italy, nobody else come down anymore like we used to.
This South End neighborhood along Franklin Avenue used to have a lot more Italians, too.
And maybe more Italians have moved to Weathersfield or Rocky Hill, but even out there, they're still very tight and connected to their roots.
Times have changed, and so has the face of the neighborhood, but some things remain the same.
We still get some good food here. We still get some good people here, whether they're Italian or not.
Neighborhood has changed, times have changed, but no matter what happens, even if they do have trouble getting younger people to go into those social clubs, all of the great buildings of Hartford stand as testament to all of those Italian Americans who helped build them. In Hartford, I'm Ken Pierce. Back to you.